Today,
We're talking about a question I hear quietly and sometimes painfully. In my therapy room, what does a woman actually feel when a man walks away? Not storms out, not plays games, but truly chooses distance. Silence and self-respect. This video is about the inner emotional sequence that often follows that moment. Welcome to the channel. If you're here, it's probably because you've been told to chase explain. Fix or prove yourself. Walking away is framed as cold or cruel. Yet from years of clinical
and real
work, conversations with couples and individuals, I've seen something very different unfold on the emotional level. And that's where this becomes uncomfortable for many people. As a therapist, I can't share names or identifying details. But I can share patterns, and one pattern shows up again and again. Walking away doesn't create indifference immediately. It creates psychological noise, confusion, self-reflection, emotional imbalance. Not because someone is being punished, but because the dynamic has changed without permission. Here's the controversial part. Most people avoid saying out loud. Many relationships survive not on love, but on predictability. When you walk away, you remove emotional predictability. You stop participating in a script the other person unconsciously relied on. That moment doesn't just affect the relationship, it affects identity. I've sat across from women who were confident, intelligent, emotionally aware, yet visibly unsettled by one simple question. Why didn't he try harder? Not because they wanted chaos, but because the absence forced them to confront something internal. Walking away often creates a mirror where there used to be distraction. This isn't about control, it isn't about revenge, and it certainly isn't about hurting someone. It's about what happens psychologically when emotional access is no longer guaranteed, when reassurance is no longer automatic, when attention is no longer on tap. Throughout this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 emotional experiences that commonly surface when a man steps back. With clarity and restraint, some are subtle, some are uncomfortable, and some are deeply transformative for both people involved. If you're looking for drama, this isn't that. If you're looking for understanding, stay with me. 1. The sudden loss of emotional certainty. When a man walks away calmly without threats or dramatic exits, the first thing that often disappears for a woman is emotional certainty, and that loss is far more unsettling than anger or sadness. From a therapeutic perspective, certainty is what allows people to relax inside a relationship. It's the quiet assumption of availability, the unspoken belief that someone will stay emotionally accessible, no matter what tension arises. When that certainty is removed, the nervous system notices immediately. In my work, I've seen this moment described not as heartbreak, but as disorientation. A woman may say she feels off, unsettled, or unable to focus. That's because walking away interrupts an emotional rhythm that had become familiar. Even when a relationship wasn't perfect, the predictability of your presence served as an anchor. Once that anchor is gone, the mind searches for stability. What makes this experience particularly intense is that it often happens before she fully understands why she feels the way she does. There's no clear villain, no dramatic betrayal to point at. Just absence, and absence has a way of creating psychological space. Where assumptions used to live, questions begin to surface quietly. Was I misreading things? Did I underestimate his limits? Did I assume too much? This is where certainty gives way to self-awareness. Not immediately and not comfortably. The initial response is often mental reorganization. She replays conversations, reevaluates moments she once dismissed, and tries to identify the exact point where control slipped away. Because emotional certainty is tied closely to perceived influence, when you walk